This experiment will give you a small demonstration on PLC, that is Programmable Logic Control Circuit. And with the help of PLC, we are going to give a small demo on automatic dam shutter control. Okay, let us assume a dam like this. Okay, let us assume a dam like this. If suppose a dam is getting filled with the water, okay, during the rainy season, if it is filled, automatically the shutter will get open. This is the process of automatic dam shutter open control system. Okay, there will be a this is actually a different setup. We have taken a dam that is having a special structure that is inbuilt with the float switch 1 and float switch 2. Okay, and then a PLC, it is a master in this system, and there will be a power supply for all the elements, and there is a start and stop switch is also there, and relay drivers and motors. Okay, so with the help of float switches, we can able to identify whether the water level is bottom or top. Okay, bottom to the dam or top of the dam. Okay, we have to identify which water level is now. Okay, what the dam is having, the water level up to which level it is having, right? So it is possible to identify with the help of these float switches. This is float switch 1 and float switch 2. Okay, this will give information about the water level to the PLC. PLC is already programmed in this way. Okay, this is the ladder logic diagram for PLC. We need not to focus on this area. Okay, there is a programming procedure is there. We need to upload this diagram. Okay, it is a graphical programming method. We will call it as ladder logic diagram. Okay, LLD. Okay, so the PLC, once if it is uploaded with this valid LLD, so once the two float switches are identified. Float switches is nothing but it is a device which is automatically it is having a lever like this. Okay, it is having a lever like this. Okay, whenever it is automatically this lever will be lifted up. Okay, whenever the water level is getting increased, this lever will be automatically pull up which is opposite to the gravity. Okay, so when the water level is decreased, this lever will be sent to pull down. Okay, this is the float switch. This is the operation behind the float switch. Okay, so you can able to know that with the help of these float switches, this is so called FS. Okay, so with the help of this FS, there are two states. Okay, this is 0, this is 1. Okay, so whenever the water flow is increased, with the help of the float switch, I mean the signals comes from the float switch, the PLC is identifying there are two float switches, right? So let us assume this is a dam. Okay, there is a float switch 1 is available here, 2 is available here. Okay, so from 1 and 2 itself, we are going to identify which, I mean the water level of the particular dam. Okay, if the both float switches is producing 1 means the dam is full. Okay, if the float switch is 1 is 1, float switch 2 is 0 means the dam is actually half filled. Okay, both these switches are 0 means dam is empty. Okay, are you able to identify? So this is so called this is the process behind the water level identification in the dam. Okay, this is PLC and motor driver. Actually the dam is actually is actually a water reservoir. This is a shutter, right? So there will be a motor is set here. Okay, so there are two motors, but in practical setup we will have only one motors. Okay, so it will automatically lift the shutter open. Okay, so whenever it rotates, okay, whenever it rotates, is pull off the entire dam shutter to the upward direction. So whenever it open, the water inside the dam can go out. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, this is the automatic dam open close operation. Okay, so we need Delta PLC and programmer for that, and 12 volt DC motor. This is a prototype. Okay, dam setup. The dam prototype is not shown here, so only the power supply unit, PLCs and relays. Okay, the float switches, these are all the float switches I have told, right? This is a symbolic representation of float switch. This is a real time float switch, and this is limit switches. This is Delta PLC module. This is the brain of the entire system, and this small circuit is the power supply circuit. This is a power supply module, and this is a buzzer, and these are all the switches for the limit switch and float switches. And this is the prototype of the DAM system, and this is a linear actuator. This is limit switch 1 and limit switch 2 is available here. And you can able to see the float switches 1 and 2. These are all the float switches that is placed inside the DAM setup. So the power supply is given to the Delta PLC, and the Delta PLC is receiving signals from float switches and the limit switches, and also sending the signal to this linear actuator. Now the two limit switches, this is linear actuator, this is float switch 1 and this is float switch 2. We will simultaneously switch on. Manually I am switching on these float switches. Whenever the water flows, water level is increased, the float switches automatically will take this lever on, right? So now the buzzer, we can able to hear the buzzer sound, and the signals from the PLC is actually activating the linear actuator. Now you can able to see the door is lifted up. There is a limit for open the door. Whenever it reaches the limit switch, it is automatically close the door. You can able to see inside the linear actuator there is a screw setup which is automatically lifting the lever.